Hello students, today we are going to discuss the sixth module of Structural Analysis 1 paper, 3 hinged arches. In this module, we are going to discuss the following topics. First, the introduction of this module. Second, types of arches. There are 3 types of arches, 2 hinged arches, 3 hinged arches and fixed or hingeless arches. Of these, 3 hinge arches that we are going to discuss in detail. Then types of 3 hinge arches. There are 2 types of 3 hinge arches, circular 3 hinged arch and parabolic 3 hinge arch that we are going to discuss in detail later. Then analysis for static loads. Then bending moment diagrams for arches, and last, Eddy's theorem of arches. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss today. First comes the introduction. Arches are nothing but curved beams that transfer load to their plane. As you all know, beams transfer their loads to the supports. Likewise, arches are also curved beams that transfer loads to their plane or to their supports or abutments. For large spans like bridges, beams are very uneconomical. As you all know, in case of bridges, you need to provide large span beams. In such cases, beams are more uneconomical and hence arches are provided instead of beams. Here you can see the figure of an arch. In the figure, arch is given. It is marked abutment or the springing points. In case of a beam, loads are transferred to their supports. Likewise, in case of an arches, loads on them or the loads on arches are transferred to their supports, which is known as abutments or springing points. Okay. As you all know, the distance between supports in case of a simply supported beam is known as span. Likewise, in case of arches, the distance between abutments is known as the span of arch. Okay. And the topmost point of arch is known as the topmost. See this figure? The topmost point of this arch is known as the crown of arch. Okay. Then the height of arch is known as the rise of arch. Height of arch is known as the rise of arch. Okay, so these are the main terms that you need to know in case of an arch. So next, the horizontal distance from one support to another is called the span. I have already explained it. So the distance between two supports or the distance between abutments of an arch is called the span of arch. It is similar to the span of a simply supported beam. Arches transfer loads to the abutments or springing points. In case of beams, beams transfer their loads to the supports. Likewise, in case of arches, they transfer loads to the abutments or springing points. And next, hinges are provided at the springing points. That is, the supports of arch are hinged, which means lateral moments are restricted, but rotation is possible. Okay, so at springing points, hinges are provided, which means lateral movements are restricted at abutments or springing points, but rotation is possible. Then the topmost point of arch is called crown. I have discussed it earlier, that the topmost point of arch is known as the crown of arch. Then the height of crown from the support level, that is the height of arch, is known as the rise. Okay. Then, due to the curved nature of arches, abutments are designed for horizontal forces also. As you all know, arches are curved beams. In case of beams, for hinged supports, if the beam carry vertical loads, support reaction is always vertical, or support reaction is always perpendicular to the support. But in case of arches, even if it carries vertical loads, support is designed for vertical loads as well as horizontal loads. due to the curvature of arches. Okay. Then for any section in the arch, there will be subjected to normal thrust, radius shear and bending moment. In case of a simply supported beam, for any section, there will be a shear force and a bending moment. But in case of an arch, if you consider any section, there will be a normal thrust which is denoted by N, radius shear which is denoted by Q and a bending moment which is denoted by M. Okay. So see the section of an arch here. The section of an arch is given. At any section, there will be a normal thrust N, that is normal to that force, normal to that section, and Q, radius shear and moment. Okay, so if you are considering any section on an arch, there will be a normal thrust, radius shear and bending moment. Okay, then the total force acting along the normal is called normal thrust. So the total force acting normal to the section is known as the normal thrust, and the total force acting along the radial direction. Total force acting along the radial direction at any section of an arch is known as the radial shear. Okay. Then comes the types of arches. As I said earlier, there are three types of arches. First one, two-hinge arches. Just see the figure. In two-hinge arches, as the name suggests, there is only two hinges, that is at the abutments. So in case of two-hinge arches, hinges are provided at the abutments or springing points. Okay. So as the name suggests, two-hinge arches are arches with two hinges provided at the abutments or springing points. Okay. Then comes the three-hinge arches. As the name suggests, for a three-hinge arches, hinges are provided at the abutments or springing point and at the crown. So in case of three-hinge arches, hinges are provided at the two abutments and at the crown area. Okay. Then last, fixed or hingeless arches. As the name suggests, for a fixed or hingeless arches, the abutments are fixed. Here you can see the two abutments or springing points of a fixed arch are fixed. Okay, so these are the types of arches. Then we are going to discuss three-hinge arches in detail. So there are two types of three-hinge arches. First one is circular arch, and in circular arch, you need to by heart certain formulas that I am going to discuss now. So here is a circular arch ABC. It is a part of a circle with a radius R. Consider a section, consider any section, say a section D, which is at a distance x from left support A and vertical distance y. So the span of arch is given as L. In case of circular arches, you need to by heart the following formulas. First, if you know the span of arch L and rise h, then the radius of circle can be calculated by using the formula L square by 8h plus h by 2. Then x. X is the distance of any section from left support A, which can be calculated by using the formula L by 2 minus R sin theta. And y is the vertical distance of any section, which is given by y is equal to h minus r into 1 minus cos theta. Okay. Then next, other type of arches, parabolic arch. In parabolic arches, there are two conditions that we are going to discuss. First is supports at same level. Here you can see a three-hinge parabolic arch ABC which supports A and B at the same level. The span of this arch is L and the rise is h. Consider any section D which is at a distance x from left support A and vertical distance y. In such cases, you need to by heart the following formulas. Y is equal to 4hx by L square into L minus x. Since the springing points are at the same level, you can apply the following condition. X square by y is equal to L square by 4h. It is the condition of a parabola. Okay. And also tan theta is equal to 4h into L minus 2x divided by L square. Okay. Then second, parabolic arches with supports at different level. Earlier we were discussed supports at the same level, but now we are going to discuss the supports at different levels. So consider a 3-hinge parabolic arch ABC with supports A and B at different levels. The height of support A to the crown is h1 and the height of support B to the crown is taken as h2, and the distance between A and C is L1 and that between B and C is L2, and the span of this arch is taken as L. So in this case, you need to by heart the following formulas. L1 is equal to L root h1 divided by root h1 plus root h2, and L2 is equal to L root h2 divided by root h1 plus root h2. Okay, so these are the types of 3-hinge arches. Next comes the analysis for static loads. Consider a 3-hinge parabolic arch ABC as shown in figure. It is loaded as given. So first draw the free body diagram of this arch. The free body diagram for support A, vertical reaction VA and horizontal reaction HA, and for support B, vertical reaction VB and horizontal reaction HB. Since the horizontal force remains constant throughout the section, HA will be equal to HB. Okay. So for the analysis of such 3-hinge arches, the first step that you need to follow is first determine the vertical support reactions by using conditions of equilibrium. Sigma Fv is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0. It is similar to the support reaction calculations in a simply supported beam. Okay. So the vertical reactions of these 3-hinge arches can be calculated by using the conditions of equilibrium. Sigma Fv is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0, which is similar to the support reaction calculation of a simply supported beam. And the second step, you need to find the horizontal support reaction by using conditions of equilibrium. Sigma mc is equal to 0. So here you are taking moment about C, that is crown point. Okay, by taking moment about crown point, you will determine horizontal support reaction. Okay. And next, you were asked to find the normal thrust and radial shear at any section of given arch. For such cases, the normal thrust can be calculated by using the formula V sin theta plus H cos theta, where H is the horizontal thrust which is constant throughout the section and V is the vertical shear, which is similar to beam shear force. Okay, shear force of a beam at any section which is similar to R V in normal thrust. Okay. And Q, radial shear Q is equal to P cos theta minus H sin theta. Okay. So these are the important points that you have to keep in mind while doing problems. Okay. So first question, a 3-hinge circular arch hinged at the springing points and crown points has a span of 40 meter and a central rise of 8 meter. It carries a UDL 20 kilonewton per meter over the left half of the span together with a concentrated load of 100 kilonewton. At the right quarter span point, find the reactions at the support, normal thrust and radial shear at a section 10 meter from left support. So in this question, it is noted that you were given a circular 3-hinge arch with a span L is equal to 40 meter and a central rise H is equal to 8 meter. It carries a UDL of 20 kilonewton per meter over its left half portion, that is left 20 meter, it carries a UDL and a concentrated load of 100 kilonewton at the right quarter span point. That is, at 10 meter from right support, it carries a point load of 100 kilonewton. And you were asked to find the reactions at the support, that is support reaction, and normal thrust and radial shear at x is equal to 10 meter from left support. Okay. So first, you need to draw the figure using the available data. So here you were given a 3-inch circular arch. Left half portion is loaded with UDL of intensity 20 kilonewton per meter as shown in figure, and right quarter span point, it carries a point load of 100 kilonewton as shown in figure. And draw the free body diagram of arch. Support A, vertical reaction VA, horizontal reaction H, support B, vertical reaction VB, and horizontal reaction H. Okay. So the solution, first you need to determine the vertical support reaction by using conditions of equilibrium. First, sigma F is equal to 0 and then sigma M is equal to 0. By using these conditions of equilibrium, first you need to find the vertical reaction VB. After getting VB, substitute VB value in first equation and find VA. Okay. So by using conditions of equilibrium, sigma F is equal to 0 and sigma MA is equal to 0, you can determine the support reactions VA and VB. Then next, determine the horizontal support reaction by using condition of equilibrium. Sigma MC is equal to 0. By taking moment about C, you can find horizontal force H. Then, so the first portion of your question is over, that is support reaction calculation. And the second part, you were asked to find the normal thrust and radial shear at a section 10 meter from left support. So at x is equal to 10 meter, for a circular arch, you know that r is equal to L square by 8h plus h by 2. So first find the radius, it is obtained as 29 meter, and then find theta. For finding theta, you can use the equation x is equal to L by 2 minus r sine theta. From this equation, x is known, L is known, r is known. Find theta. So you will get theta is equal to 20.171 degree. And then for finding normal thrust and radial shear, you need to find the vertical shear at section D. So find the vertical shear, which is the beam shear force at D, and then find normal thrust. N is equal to B sin theta plus H cos theta, and Q is equal to V cos theta minus H sin theta. By substituting values in this equation, you will get the normal thrust and radial shear. Okay. Then second question, a 3-inch parabolic arch hinged at the supports and at the crown has a span of 24 meter and a central rise of 4 meter. It carries a concentrated load of 50 kilonewton at 18 meter from left support and a uniformly distributed load of 30 kilonewton per meter over the left half portion. Determine the moment, thrust and radial shear at a section 6 meter from the left support. So in this question, you were given a 3-inch parabolic arch with a span 24 meter, rise 4 meter. It carries a point load of 50 kilonewton at 18 meter from left support and a UDL of intensity 30 kilonewton per meter over left half portion. You were asked to find the moment, thrust and radial shear at a section 6 meter from left support. Okay. So first, for solving this problem, you need to draw the figure by using the available data. So you are given a 3-inch parabolic arch loaded as shown in figure. Then the solution part. First, you need to determine the support reaction as I explained in the previous question. Determine the vertical support reaction by using conditions of equilibrium. Sigma F is equal to 0 and sigma M is equal to 0. Then determine horizontal support reactions by using conditions of equilibrium. Sigma MC is equal to 0. So support reactions are calculated. Then you were asked to find the moment, thrust, radial shear at section 6 meter from left support. So x is 6 meter. Then for a parabolic arch, y is equal to 4hx by L square into L minus x. So find y, which is obtained as 3 meter. And then find theta by using equation. Tan theta is equal to 4h into L minus 2x divided by L square. Theta is obtained as 18.435 degree. Then for finding normal thrust and radial shear, you need to find the vertical shear at section So find vertical shear at section D, then normal thrust and radial shear can be calculated by using the formulas. N is equal to B sin theta plus H cos theta and Q is equal to B cos theta minus H sin theta. Okay. Then we are going to discuss how you can draw a bending moment diagram in case of arches. So for drawing bending moment diagram in case of arches, you need to know the formula. Bending moment diagram for arch is equal to B moment minus Hy. So the bending moment diagram for arches is obtained by deducting B moment diagram from Hy diagram. So for that, consider a beam which is consider an arch which is loaded as shown in figure. So first you need to calculate the beam moment, that is simply beam moment at any section. So first calculate beam moment at A and B, and then under the loads calculate the beam moment, that is MC and MB. After calculating beam moment at random points, you need to find the Hy as beam moment calculation at various points. Similarly, find Hy at different points. At A, Hy is equal to 0, at B, Hy is equal to 0, and at C, Hy is equal to Hyc. Yc is the rise of arch, and at D, Hy is equal to Hyd. Okay. So first, for drawing bending moment diagram, first you need to find the beam moment at random points and the Hy moment at random points. Then draw the bending moment diagram. Here you can see first you need to draw the Hy moment in the form of a parabola. So at A, Hy is equal to 0. Just see this figure. At B, Hy is equal to 0. And at C, Hy is equal to Hyc. And at D, Hy is equal to Hyd. So mark the point and complete the parabola. After drawing the parabola, you just draw the beam moment diagram. So first under load W1, beam moment is Va into L by 4, and under W2, beam moment is Va into L by 2 minus W1 into L by 4. Since these loads are point load, complete the bending moment diagram by using straight lines, and for portion where UDL is running, you need to draw the parabola. Okay. And the bending moment diagram is the difference of beam moment and Hy moment, that is the shaded region. So that's how you will draw the bending moment diagram for arches. Okay. So next question, a symmetric 3-hinge parabolic arch of span 36 meter and rise 6 meter is subjected to a concentrated load of 120 kilonewton at a point 12 meter from left support. Draw the bending moment diagram for the arch. So in this question, you were given a 3-hinge parabolic arch of span 36 meter and rise 6 meter. This arch is subjected to a concentrated load of 120 kilonewton at a point 12 meter from left support. You were asked to draw the bending moment diagram for the arch. So first, you need to draw the figure by using available data. So here is a 3-hinge parabolic arch with span 36 meter and rise 6 meter. It carries a point load of 120 kilonewton at a distance 12 meter from left support. So the solution is, first you need to calculate the support reactions. Vertical support reactions can be calculated by using conditions of equilibrium. Sigma Fv is equal to 0 and sigma Ma is equal to 0. Then determine the horizontal support reaction by using condition of equilibrium. Sigma Mc is equal to 0. As you all know, bending moment diagram for arch is the difference between beam moment and Hy. First, you need to calculate the beam moment at random points. So at A and C, beam moment is 0, and at C, beam moment is 720 kilonewton meter, and at D, beam moment is 960 kilonewton meter. Then find the Hy at random points. At A and B, Hy is 0, at C, Hy is 720 kilonewton meter, and at D, Hy is 640 kilonewton meter. And by plotting these values and taking the difference of beam moment and Hy, you will get the bending moment diagram for arches as shown in figure. Okay. Now the last topic of this module is Eddy's theorem for arches. Statement is, The bending moment at any section of an arch is equal to the vertical intercept between the linear arch and the center line of the actual arch. So, according to Eddy's theorem, the bending moment at any section on an arch is proportional to the vertical distance between actual arch and theoretical or linear arch. I will explain it with the help of a figure. So, here the parabola is the actual arch or the given arch, and the linear arch is shown in this figure, which is the theoretical arch. According to Eddy's theorem, consider any section XX on the arch. According to Eddy's theorem, bending moment at this section XX will be proportional to vertical distance y between actual arch and the linear arch. That is BM or M at section XX is proportional to y, which is the vertical intercept between linear arch and actual arch. So this is Eddy's theorem for arches. Okay, thank you.